Welcome back. I am Moira, hypnotherapist and life coach, here with my guests Caroline and Sarah. If you're just joining us, we have been talking about how to get and stay unstuck. So one of the things, we were just talking about this a bit earlier, about in order to be unstuck, you have to sometimes live on the edge of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And I just want to touch base on our caller, Maria. We can talk more in depth later about the living on the edge of your comfort zone. There's some specific techniques that we would like to share in our conversation here about how to do that and stay present to it. Mm. So Caroline, you had said you wanted to mention something about meditation.
Yes, in general, it's just, I think that years ago when I was not well, mm-hmm. Not healthy really, and I would like drag myself, out of bed in the morning and had really hard time dealing with the issues that I was to deal with during the day. Mm-hmm. And now, because of the tools and so on that I've learned from people like yourself, is what I find that what helps me deal with, because life is full of interesting challenges, right?
Absolutely.
Is that now when I get up in the morning, I do my morning meditation. It's a guided meditation that I do, and I set an intention for the day. Mm-hmm. And then in the evening, the last thing I do is another guided meditation, and then I take gratitude for all the things that happened in the day. And so I find that really helps me in my life generally, and keeps me in a more calm kind of state. But my other people would say that calm is relative.
If you know Caroline.
If you know Caroline, yes. But Caroline, you do, I do really respect that about you, that I know that you do the ongoing meditations, and it's a very big part of my life too. I do walk my talk with this. But you know what you said there about gratitude, I think that's such a key piece to helping people get unstuck.
For sure.
Is sometimes, and I have clients that just look at me like I've just landed from Mars when I say, I want you to start naming 5 things that you're grateful for. And to some people who are really stuck,
it's hard.
It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And until I start saying to them, well, how about being grateful for your bed? Mm-hmm. Being grateful for the heat in your home, being grateful for the clothes on your back. Mm-hmm. And once you start doing that, again, it's all of these things, everything that we're talking about, they're like muscles, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. You have
such a habit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I do a gratitude exercise every day, and sometimes when I'm really stressed, it's like, I'm grateful that I'm stressed.
Grateful that I'm breathing. Short breaths.
I'm here and I'm stressed, right?
I think my husband's grateful that I'm meditating.
Yeah, exactly.
when I'm stressed.
Something that I wanted to back up on when we were talking, Sarah, about the whole idea of only being able to move forward when you're ready. Mm. It's something that comes up for me as a hypnotherapist, where people will come and ask me, can I plant a seed in their head, like to stop eating sugar, or like their partner better, or exercise every day? The truth is, and I've always said this, I can't. I mean, I could do that, but it won't work unless they really want it, because that is the key. Hypnotherapy and meditation and a lot of the other tools that I teach people are only as good as your core desire. And so that's what I'm saying about the exercising the muscle. These are all tools to help build that, and they do a brilliant job about it. Mm-hmm. But I liked what you'd said. So when you did hit rock bottom, and then you kind of did a wee relapse, how long did it take you to get back into your decision?
Not long. I mean, it was literally, I moved here, it was 3 weeks, and it was the most difficult 3 weeks, I think, because I just was trying so hard to be something that I know deep down that I'm not. Mm-hmm. And so it was very quick. It was 3 weeks of my life that I was feeling so inauthentic. I couldn't even sort of stand myself during that 3-week period. It was just such an uncomfortable feeling of the idea of not even sort of being able to look myself in the eye in the mirror in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, after a few nights of, even if I would just try to just have one glass of wine, you know, I'd sort of muscle through just one glass, and I can do it. I can just do one. And realizing that, you know, if I had my way, it would not just be one.
Right.
And so it was fairly quick. And then it was, the opportunity then was, you don't have to keep going down this road. You've been here before, and you don't have to keep going there. You can make a change. So it was challenging because, you know, now I've moved to Ottawa and people think that I'm a drinker and I like to go out. And so I actually quit a job that I'd just been here working on for 3 weeks. And I said, I can't be here anymore. It's just not healthy for me. And so I went and I worked somewhere else, and it was the best thing I could do.
No, good for you. So you remade yourself. And you touched on some really important points there, because something about getting unstuck is to make sure that you surround yourself with supportive people.
For sure.
And if they cannot support you, then don't tell them what you're doing. It has to be a secret, because people will do it even with good intentions. They might say, "Oh, one drink won't hurt you."
For sure.
Know? And
I still get it. I get it all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like that. That to me would be, then I'm going to have to distance myself from people like that.
Absolutely.
You know. But what I was saying to you about the thing about really when you become your own best friend, what I mean by that is you actually start to understand that behavior, and you then have to start steering yourself in the way that supports what your new choice is. So therefore you're not going to go and hang out in a bar,
right?
And you're going to not sort of steer away from the people that want to meet you that way. One of the pieces in my own healing journey is getting through fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and multiple burnouts in my career. What I come to realize is I have this persona that basically heads 90 miles an hour in work, and I do work that way. So now I have had to really dial it back into the self-care, where I do meditate and I do sit and journal and take time for my own care. But do you know, when I was first doing it, the only way I could do it was by saying I was doing it for my clients. And that's how I broke my own habit, right? Is that, to me, I wasn't making myself as important as I needed to at that point. I do now,
right?
But this is quite a few years ago. If this is how I actually came out of that, and so it sounds like you did something similar in that you saw.
And I really sought, you know, health and wellness. I really went to. I knew that I couldn't have a sugar addiction because I didn't want to deal with that. So I went to, to really working out, exercising, eating really healthy, researching healthy eating and healthy living, and decided, instead of being this really unhealthy, you know, I used to smoke, I drank, I didn't watch my diet, and so I went from being that person who, again, is still inside me. You know, and there are days where I eat pizza, but I went from that to being this person that was very passionate about living a healthy lifestyle. And so it becomes almost easier. As an alcoholic, I'm then able to just say, you know what, I don't drink. You know, it's just, I don't have to necessarily go into the whole thing. It's just easier for me to say it's just not a healthy choice for me.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. Something that's really important, and because I really respect all of your health and wisdom in diet and eating and stuff. Something that's really important to me, though, is to not beat yourself up for that piece of pizza, right? Because that's another behavior that can actually, if over a period of time, could actually take you back into that place of being stuck, right?
And it has. I mean, certainly, I've the pendulum kind of swings both ways, and there are times where I realize that I'm beating myself up way too much over a slice of pizza. So,
years ago, I was more like a workaholic,
Yes.
and that was a big challenge for my family as well, because I definitely didn't put me first, and often didn't put we first, but we first came before me first.
Right.
And I was not healthy because I was in burnout.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to the wonderful world of wellness, what I call the wonderful world of wellness. And so, like Sarah, I just embraced a healthy lifestyle. And so now, I mean, who would have known that that would become my life's work now?
I know, it's so
I mean,
perfect.
it's just so amazing how that turns around, and that I'm also now able to help and inspire other people to do that. Because in different ways we've been there, right? And so we want to see what we can do to make a difference.
Caroline is such an inspiration to me. I mean, I think, so highly of you. And when I think the first time that we met, you talked about a talk that you gave about aging gracefully and gratefully, and just looking at her, I mean, she just radiates that. And so it's amazing to think that at one point you were unwell and sick and not like you are now.
Yeah, I really feel younger than I did
for sure.
10 years ago,
You're
for sure.
Both brilliant testaments to works in progress and getting unstuck. So thank you so much to my guests, Caroline and Sarah. I would invite you to join me again on June 24th, where we're going to have a discussion about reducing stress and increasing success. Basically getting unstuck in any way you can think is possible. So thank you both so very much.
Thank you so much.
Moira.
Good night.